Listen to me very carefully, Philadelphia. We are standing on the precipice of a franchise-altering week. The legal tampering period is literally hours away, and the Philadelphia Eagles are staring down decisions that will define the next 5 years of this organization. I am talking about blockbuster trades, massive contract negotiations, and heartbreaking departures of fan favorites. Howie Roseman is operating behind closed doors right now, and the stakes have absolutely never been higher. You need to brace yourselves because the dominoes are about to fall. Let us dive into the absolute madness unfolding right now.
Let me tell you exactly what is happening inside the front office right now regarding Jalen Phillips. The Philadelphia Eagles are not just sitting on their hands. General Manager Howie Roseman is preparing to make one final, aggressive push to retain the outside linebacker before he hits unrestricted free agency next week. According to my sources and ESPN's Tim McManus, the Eagles desperately want to keep the 26-year-old pass rusher. They acquired him from the Miami Dolphins at the trade deadline for a third-round pick, and he immediately proved his worth. He fit perfectly into Vic Fangio's defensive scheme and became an instant leader in that locker room. He plays a premium position. He is elite against both the run and the pass, and he is still incredibly young. But here is the massive problem staring Philadelphia right in the face. It is going to take an absolute fortune to keep him. We are talking about jaw-dropping numbers. Daniel Popper from The Athletic projects Phillips could command a 4-year contract worth $98 million. Let that sink in for a second. That is an average annual salary of $24.5 million. Now, SpotTrack has a much more conservative estimate of $52 million over 3 years, which puts him around $17 million annually. That is a massive $7 million discrepancy per year. Either way, the Eagles only have about $13.7 million in cap space right now. They do not have the usual restructure candidates to magically create room. But let me be very clear about something. You never, ever bet against Howie Roseman when it comes to salary cap gymnastics. If he wants a player, he finds a way. Phillips gave this defense life. He posted 28 sacks and 68 quarterback hits in 63 career games. Yes, he had lower leg injuries in the past, but he played every single game last season, and pundits do not expect his medical history to tank his market value. The front office knows they gave up a valuable draft pick for him, and letting him walk for nothing would be a devastating blow to this defensive front. But you have to ask yourself, at what cost? Because paying Jalen Phillips means sacrificing heavily somewhere else on the roster. Every single dollar spent on the edge rusher is a dollar strictly taken away from the offensive side of the ball. And speaking of the offense, there is a massive storm brewing on the other side of the line of scrimmage right now. Are you completely ready for the absolute chaos that is about to erupt tomorrow? If you want to keep getting exclusive insider updates and hardcore analysis about our team before anyone else does, you need to subscribe right now. Hit that button and join the most passionate community in football. This is where things get incredibly complicated and emotionally devastating for the Philadelphia Eagles. We are officially on the clock regarding the A.J. Brown situation, and a massive resolution is coming within the next couple of days. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport just dropped a bombshell, stating that the Buffalo Bills are completely out of the market after trading for DJ Moore. That leaves a terrifyingly narrow window. It is down to the New England Patriots or our Eagles. Diana Rossini from The Athletic confirmed that the front office desperately wants this resolved immediately so they can move forward with their entire offseason plan. But here is the absolute kicker that is going to make your stomach drop. This is not just about A.J. Brown. This single decision dictates the fate of another foundational pillar of our offense. I am talking about Dallas Goedert. Mike Garafolo laid out the brutal reality of the salary cap mathematics. The continuous restructuring of contracts always comes due. If A.J. Brown stays in Philadelphia, the massive cap hit remains, and Dallas Goedert is absolutely gone. Period. End of story. But if the Eagles decide to trade Brown, they instantly clear the financial space required to bring Goedert back. They are completely intertwined. It is a simple, cutthroat formula. If one stays, the other leaves. You cannot have both. As an analyst, I look at this and my head spins. If you move on from a generational talent like Brown, you absolutely must retain Goedert as that massive red zone threat. An offense featuring Goedert, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, and Jalen Hurts is still incredibly dangerous. But losing A.J. Brown, the man is an absolute monster on the outside. He dictates coverage. He terrifies opposing defensive coordinators. Can you really afford to let him walk out of the building today? The noise is deafening right now. Nothing is guaranteed, but the tension in the facility is so thick you could cut it with a knife.
The front office is playing a high-stakes game of chess with the emotional core of this roster. Every single move has a massive butterfly effect. The departure of either Brown or Goddard will fundamentally alter the identity of this specific offense forever. And if you think the offensive side of the ball is the only place experiencing this level of terrifying uncertainty, you are completely wrong. Because while the offensive stars are fighting for their financial lives, the defense is facing an absolute mass exodus that could tear the roster apart. Do you want to know exactly who else is officially packing their bags right now in Philadelphia before tomorrow morning arrives for us all to witness firsthand today?
The severity of this situation cannot be overstated. We are watching the foundation of this team crumble before our very eyes in unrestricted free agency. The Eagles have 4 key players to watch, but let us talk about safety Reed Blankenship. The organization takes immense pride in finding him as an undrafted free agent out of Middle Tennessee State. He has become an absolute favorite of defensive coordinator Vic Fangio, but the front office has drawn a hard line in the sand. They believe he has reached the point of being a $10 million player. If his market demands a single penny more than that, Philadelphia will immediately tap out and let him walk. That is the ruthless reality of the NFL. But the bleeding does not stop there. We already discussed the desperate push for Jaelan Phillips, who remains the absolute top priority. The problem is, this free agency class is incredibly weak, which means his price tag might skyrocket far beyond what Howie Roseman is willing to pay. If Phillips leaves, the defense loses its most dynamic young piece. Meanwhile, franchise legend Brandon Graham wants to play one more season. Roseman indicated they would welcome him back, but the prudent path is to get younger. Moving on from a hero is agonizing, but sometimes it is strictly necessary. And then look at the sheer volume of talent walking out the door. Linebacker Nakobe Dean is out because Jahad Campbell is simply too talented to sit on the bench any longer. Jahan Dotson, he's filing a change of the dress form to find better opportunities elsewhere. Azeez Ojulari, Josh Uche, and Matt Pryor are all searching for new homes. Running back A.J. Dillon is completely buried on the depth chart and will not return. Quarterback Sam Howell is looking for a backup job in another city. The domino effect of these 3 massive storylines is catastrophic. If you overplay Phillips, you cannot afford Blankenship. If you keep A.J. Brown, you lose Dallas Goedert. Every single dollar is stretched so thin that the roster is guaranteed to look entirely different next week. The emotional toll this takes on the locker room is immeasurable. Players are watching their brothers pack up their lockers, knowing they might be next. The tension is suffocating. This is not just a standard off-season transition. This is a full-scale restructuring of a championship contender. The decisions made in the next 72 hours will either build a dynasty or destroy the chemistry completely. Are you prepared for the harsh reality of this brutal business? Let me ask you this one final critical question before the chaos truly begins to unfold right before us today.
This is a defining moment for the Philadelphia Eagles. We are not just talking about minor roster tweaks. We are talking about the absolute core of this franchise being completely reshaped. Do you sacrifice the defensive future to keep the offensive firepower? Do you trade away a superstar to save the salary cap? I want to hear from every single one of you right now. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Who do you keep and who do you let walk? Do not just sit there. Join the debate. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications because the second Howie Roseman makes a move, we are going to be right here breaking it down. Fly, Eagles, fly, and I will see you on the next update.